Good evening, everyone. This is Charm City Decoded. Your host, Sophina Turner, is coming with episode 3. So, welcome back. And we're going to be talking about, I think, a wonderful topic. We're going to be talking about Kwanzaa. And which is today starts the first day of Kwanzaa. It lasts for 7 days. It will end on January the 1st, 2022. So we're going to get into it. Let's first talk about the creation of it. Who started it? Who created it? His name was Dr. Maulana Karenga. His original name, his birth name is Ronald McKinley Everett. He was born in 1941. He was a professor and a chairman of Black Studies at the California State University in Long Beach, California. He created this celebration, this recognition of Black culture after the Watts rioting in 1966. He felt the need that after the Watts riot, he searched for ways to bring African Americans together. So he came up with Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is derived from the name Mutanda ya Kwanzaa. Matanda ya Kwanzaa, which means first fruits in Swahili. That's what it means. So we're here to celebrate it, and a lot of us in the African American community, don't know what Kwanzaa is, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really just learning of Kwanzaa. I've heard of Kwanzaa, but I never really searched or looked deep into what it stands for, what it means, where it derived from. So I thought this would be a good topic since today is the first day of Kwanzaa. And it comes the day after Christmas. All of these holidays are man-made holidays, but I think that this is something that should be close and dear to us since it's a part of our culture. And I want us to talk about it more. I want us to talk about, this in our families more and in our communities, so we can start creating that unity that once was in the Black community. They want us. There are 7 principles to Kwanzaa. And the first principle is, I'm going to go off the names of them and what they mean. Okay. I'm going to try to also put photos in this video. So, this podcast, so you can also see. I'm going to read off to you the 7 principles and what they mean. Okay. The first principle is, now take in mind, hopefully I'm pronouncing these words correctly, but this is what the first one is. The first principle is umoja. Umoja means unity, and it means to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. And that is umoja, community. The second one is, now this one is a tongue twister right here. Kuji cha gulia. Kuji ja gulia. And that means self-determination. Okay? And that it means to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, speak for ourselves. That's what that means. Kuji Chagulia. self-determination. All right. The third one is Ujima. Ujima. And that means collective work and responsibility. Collective work and responsibility. And that means to build and maintain our community together. Make our community problems our problems and solve our problems together. That's Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Okay, then you have number 4. You have Ujama. Ujama means cooperative economics. Cooperative economics, and it means maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses and to profit from them together. That means shop black, shop in your own communities. Keep that money and profit flowing through our community for a little while. That's what that means. Buy black, okay? At least for this 1 week. How about that? Let's start there. And so that's Ujama, cooperative economics. And then we have number 5. This is my personal favorite. I'm going to tell you why this is my personal favorite. Because I was blessed to give birth to a little girl, a baby girl, and I named her Nia. And when I found out what the definition of it meant purpose. And I didn't know anything about Kwanzaa when I did this. So that's why this one rings out so special to me, because this is my baby girl. And it says Nia. It means purpose. To restore our people to their original greatness. Restore our people to their original greatness. I love it. I love that. Number 6, we have Kuumba. Kuumba means creativity. Creativity. Leave our community more beautiful and special than what we inherited. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Pass on to our next generations. You want to leave it more beautiful and special for the next generation. And they keep on keeping that cycle going. That's what we want. That's what we need to do. All right. That's Kuumba, and that means creativity. Okay. Then we have number 7, Amani. Amani means faith. The righteousness and goodness of our struggle. We have to understand that. No matter what may come your way, what pain you inherit or receive, you have to remember that you are better than that. You are greater than that. You are stronger than anything and anyone who brings you pain. Your beauty is in who you are. You come from kings and queens. You are worthy. You will always be worthy in every way possible. So always remember that. Amani, faith. So those are the 7 principles when it comes down to Kwanzaa. I'm learning more and more about it. And one of the things that they want you to do is give something. And it's like this. It's 7 candles that's supposed to be that you light up for the week. I believe you have 3 red ones that represents blood. You have the all black one that represents who you are, your Africanness. And you have the green ones. It's like 3 green ones, and that represents fertility and growth and prosperity and just all the great things that will make our culture special. So understand that. So one of the things that I want to do to give back to our community in my little way, I said I'm a reader. I like to read. I read stories, biographies. I read poetry. And this is a special poem that was written by Amanda Gorman. Amanda Gorman wrote this, "The Hill We Climb." And she recited this at the presidential inauguration for Joseph Biden. And she's the youngest laureate to ever, speak at a presidential inauguration. She was 22 years old, and I thought she just touched my heart, and this poem touched my heart. So I want to recite this in her name, as well as for our culture, if y'all don't mind. So please bear with me. I'm going to read it from the book. I don't know it by heart. So bear with me, please. All right. It's called "The Hill We Climb." When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light? In this never-ending shade, the loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. And the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl, descended from slaves and raised by a single mother, can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but this doesn't mean we're striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose. To compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first. We must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so that we can reach our arms out to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew. That even as we hurt, we hoped. That even as we tired, we tried. That we'll forever be tried together, victorious. But because we will never again know defeat. But because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that. Everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promised glade, that hill we climb, if only we dare it. Because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith, we trust. For while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared it at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour. But within it, we found the power to offer a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be. A country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath from our bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the West. We will rise from the wind-swept Northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover. In every known nook of our nation, and every corner called our country, our people, diverse and dutiful, will emerge battered but beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it. Miss Amanda Gorman, The Hill We Climb. So I wanted to share that with y'all. And I hope to get some feedback, please. Always, leave a comment below. And if you can, share it. And please, by all means, subscribe. This is Charm City Decoded. I am your host, Sophina Turner. Happy Kwanzaa. And happy Sunday. I bid you all a good night.